So it's quite interesting looking at term calendars for international schools. Um, because the international schools are they have to make two groups of people happy. They have to obey the law within their own country. At the same time, they have to keep the staff happy. So when they're devising their calendars, they're thinking about what is the law in their country, and there has to be certain standards that they keep up, certain holidays that they have to follow, and certain minimum requirements that they have to follow. And at the same time, they have to give their staff the holidays that they want. So the staff they want time off for Christmas, they want long summer holidays. Okay, so these are the two issues that the schools have to consider. It has nothing to do with the children or education, by the way. So when international school administrators are sitting down to figure out what the calendar is, they are not thinking about what is best for the children. Okay, and if you continue to listen to this podcast, you will realize I'm right because I'm going to prove it. Now, you're not going to hear me saying a lot of good things about the English school system, but if you look at the calendar, the school calendar of the English school system, what you will notice is that term times are divided up quite regularly and quite reasonably. So, for example, the kids will go to school for 6 or 7 weeks, then they'll have a week off. We call it half term. And then they'll go back to school for 7 weeks, and then they'll have a couple of weeks off at Christmas. Then they'll go back to school for 6 or 7 weeks, and they'll have a week off. Then they'll go back to school for 6 or 7 weeks, and then they'll have Easter holiday, maybe a couple of weeks. Then they'll go back to school for 7 weeks, half term. Then they'll go back to school for 7 weeks, summer holiday. Okay, so the learning is divided up. Forget about teachers and national holidays. Let's just think about the children for a moment. I know it's not common practice, but in education. But let's think about the children. Actually, that's not bad. From my own experience of homeschooling, where I can actually choose exactly how much I want to teach, when I want to teach. We can have a day off, we can have a week off anytime we want. I've actually found that's not bad. 6 or 7 weeks of learning, of teaching, of concentration, and then you have some time off. And then occasionally, maybe you have, a lot of time off. It's not bad. Maybe I wouldn't, maybe summer holidays a bit too long, but so that seems reasonable to me. Now, to go back to my point about international schools, they've got to obey the law of the country that they're in, but they've also got to attract teachers. Right? So they've got to have a summer holiday, they've got to have a Christmas holiday. So they end up having really, really strange timetables. I want to look at, not timetables, I mean calendars. I want to look at 4 schools. I'm looking at a school in China. I'm looking at a school in Vietnam. I'm looking at a school in Jakarta. And I'm looking at a school in Bangkok. Now, I'll start off with the absolute worst, which is the school in China. And I worked in 2 schools in China, and they were both, and all schools in China are the same. They have really, really bizarre holiday structure and calendar structure. So let's look at the school. Look at one in particular school. This is not unique. This school, they're all like this. So the students have just gone back. As I'm speaking, this is towards the end of August. Students went back 22nd of August. Okay. So this is their first week back. Right. They're back for 1, 2. Okay. I'm looking at the calendar as I go through this. Hope my internet connection is not really too slow. So they have 2 weeks of school in August, 3, 4, okay, and then they get some time off. Right, so they've had 9 weeks holiday. They're back for 4 weeks, and then they have a break. Then they're back for 1, 2 weeks, and then they get another holiday. And then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 weeks. Okay, now they have 12 weeks, and then they get a couple of weeks off for Christmas. Okay, so that's a 12-week stretch. As I say, in England, you're getting 6 or 7 weeks without a holiday, right? So they just had 12 weeks off, 12 weeks of school. Okay, so that was 9 weeks of summer. Then they had a few weeks back, then they got a break. Then another couple of weeks, then they got a break. And then they got 12 weeks. And then they get the Christmas break. And then they're back for 1, 2, 3 weeks. And then it's Chinese New Year. So they're back at school for 3 weeks. And then they get 3 weeks off for Chinese New Year. Okay, very nice. And then after Chinese New Year, they get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, bear with me, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 weeks without a holiday. Now this is according to the calendar. I think they may have forgotten about Dragon Boat Festival. I think it might get 1 or 2 days off in there somewhere, but 20 weeks without a break for the children. Okay, I mean, the teachers too, but 20 weeks without a break. Okay, they get weekends, but 20 weeks without a break. It's unbelievable, and this is not atypical, right? This is quite normal in schools in China, right? So they've got these silly little bits: 2 weeks here, 3 weeks here, 3 weeks there. Then they get a chunk of 11 weeks, 12 weeks, and then they get a chunk of 20 weeks. Okay. Now that goes against any logic regarding education, right? But this is not a calendar. This is an instrument of torture. Okay, this is not an academic calendar. Right? An academic calendar is based around how children learn. This is not an academic calendar. This is an instrument of torture. So let's look at that was Green Oasis School in Shenzhen, by the way. Let's look at St. Andrew's International School in Bangkok. Okay, now, again, they get the long summer holiday, 8 weeks summer holiday. Okay, 8 weeks for the children, don't go to school. Then they come back in August, same as all the other international schools, and then they have a 17-week stretch. 17 weeks. During that 17 weeks, there are 2 days off. There are 2 national holidays, which they get off. I think there are 2 Mondays. But apart from that, 17-week stretch, right? So the kids get 8 weeks off, 8 weeks holiday, and then they're back for 17 weeks. How does that make any sense? Then they get 2 weeks off for Christmas. Okay, this is Thailand, Buddhist country, right? But of course the teachers are not Buddhists, the teachers are foreigners, so they've got to have their Christmas holiday. 2 weeks off for Christmas, and then they come back and they do a 13-week stretch. And during that 13-week stretch of school, again they get 2 days off. Okay, then they get a week off, then they do 10 weeks, during which they have 3 days off, and then it's a summer holiday again, right? So we're looking at 17 weeks, then 13 weeks, then 10 weeks, without a proper holiday, without a proper break for the children, never mind the teachers too, right? I've suffered as a teacher, but I'm thinking about the children, I know that education, people don't generally forget about the children, but I'm talking about the children. 17 weeks, then 13 weeks, then 10 weeks. Again, going back to England, you never get more than 7 weeks without having a week off. Okay, that makes sense to me. Right, so that's China and Bangkok. To be fair, I looked at Vietnam and I looked at Indonesia. I looked at the British International School of Ho Chi Minh, and it's not as bad actually. So and Indonesia as well. So if you want to send your kids to an international school, or you want to work as an international school teacher, I would recommend Vietnam and Indonesia over China or Thailand from that point of view. But even in this case, so now I'm looking at the British International School of Ho Chi Minh. Right, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, and then they get a break. Okay, that's reasonable. Then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, and then they get a Christmas break. Right, that's pretty reasonable. Okay, that's not bad. Then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's something going on there. They have 3 weeks back, and then there's all sorts of holidays and things going on. I think it's public holidays. Must be something to do with Vietnam International Day, or celebrate beating the Americans or something. So they're back for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they get lots of holidays again. So it's all messed up. You're coming back after Christmas. From a learner's point of view, or from a teacher's point of view, you're coming back after Christmas, and you got like a couple of weeks back, couple of proper weeks back, and then it's all messed up with holidays. Right, so then you're back again in February. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, you have 8 weeks, and then you have 2 weeks off. Okay, which is around Easter, and then you end with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11 week stretch. Okay, so you end with an 11-week stretch. Right, so it's not bad. August, September, October, November, December makes sense. January is all messed up. You come back and then you're on holiday again, and then you end up with a long stretch. Okay, it's not as bad as China or Thailand, but still, it's not based around what's best for the children at all. Right? It's based around trying to keep the staff happy, as well as follow the guidelines as laid down by the law of the country that you're in. Okay, finally, I want to look at the British School of Jakarta, and again, the British School of Jakarta is not bad, especially compared to China. Again, they come back in August. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Then they have a week off. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, and then they have 3 weeks off for Christmas. So they have more than 3 weeks off, 3.5 weeks of Christmas. Then they're back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, and then they get a week off in February. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they get another 2 weeks off in April. So that's pretty good so far. But then, of course, there's a price to pay, because at the end of the year, you're doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 week stretch at the end. Okay, so it's not, as I say, it's not as bad as Thailand or China, but again, it's not, obviously not designed to what's best for the children. If you were designing a calendar for what's best for the children, you're gonna have nice even stretches with regular breaks. You're not gonna have 4 weeks, then a break, then 11 weeks, then a break, and then 3 weeks, then a break, and then 9 weeks with a break. Or God forbid, 20 weeks with a break. So just to end, I'd just like to say that to all my homies and friends and all the children back at Green Oasis School, come February, and when you're looking down the barrel of a 20-week stretch without a holiday, my sympathy and my prayers are with you.